Okay, for people at IU Welton who don't know me, I am Tony Francis, and I am here to give you my cancer presentation. Cancer. Some of us just want a new house, a new car, a new mobile phone. But if you're a kid, you just want a toy, a new video game, or even a bike to ride around on. But with this type of cancer, 7% will battle this, or beat it, or 33% will battle this cancer or another cancer again within 2 years. 60% will die within 5 years. I am bound and bent. I am that 7% and beat it. I hope you enjoy my story. How it all started, August 30th, 2012, I went to my family doctor and I got a physical and a needle done. And while I was getting my physical done, they found a lump in my neck. And they sent us to Peterborough. And while I was in Peterborough, I was there all day, and by the end, they confirmed that I had lymphoma, and then they sent me to Sick Kids right away. Lymphoma. Lymphoma is a cancer of your lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are throughout your entire body. It is an essential part to fight infection. Other than your swollen glands and in your neck, your collarbone, armpit, and out through your lower body, in your groin, and out through your lower body, there are no symptoms of this cancer, which is good and bad. Good is you don't get to feel sick, and bad is you could die if you don't catch it within the 5 years. It is usually too late to treat. You may not realize you have it because your glands can be swollen from the common cold, sore throat, or a flu. A biopsy. September 4th, I went to Sick Kids. A week later, they did a biopsy on one of the lymph nodes that are in my neck. And here's the scar. The biopsy confirmed that I had lymphoma. At this point, I was only at stage 2. I thought I could handle this. The PICC line. 1 week later, after the biopsy, I had a PICC line put in. The PICC line runs up your arm, through your shoulder, and into your chest. It helps the chemo go through and fight all the lymph nodes that I had in my chest, my neck, my armpit, and out through my lower body. It had to be flushed on a daily basis so it would not get a blood clot. Chemotherapy. I was on 5 different chemotherapy drugs. Chemotherapy is a medicine that goes through your bloodstream and attacks all cells, good and bad. And while I was on chemo, it was very tiring, bored, and very sickening. And luckily, for the boring part, there was always a lady who came around and they would treat you with a bunch of games. And I asked to the woman who came around, what games do you have to play? There was Cars, Monopoly, and there was this block game where you take one and see how many you can get before it all falls down, which I think is called Jenga. I asked her if she knew how to play Rummy, and she said, no, I do not know how to play Rummy. So I taught her how to play, and by the end I was almost done chemotherapy. She was becoming really good like me, and it became really fun. To top it all off, you lose your hair, and I only lost hair up here, which is great. Next slide. After 2 months, finally I thought it was over. They did more tests, the tumors they were getting bigger, they were not shrinking. I was now at stage 4, no radiation, just 2 more months of chemo. 4 months later, I made it. They did more tests, the tumors were not shrinking, and they were too much scarring from the chemo, so we had to move on to radiation. Radiation therapy. For radiation, they put you in a machine, and for each procedure, you have to hold your breath for 30 seconds. I thought it's pretty easy, really. And each procedure they do is 1 hour a day, and I was up there for 3 weeks at a time, and I only had 14 days of radiation. I went up January 7th, and I came home January 25th. Radiation has a lot of long-term and short-term effects. It weakens the lining in your lungs, your heart, and your kidneys. Yes, my friends, I was at a Justin Bieber's concert. I stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for sick children, and luckily they had Justin Bieber tickets come in for I think there's a lot of activities in Toronto that you can do, and luckily my family was there when they got tickets to the Justin Bieber concert, where we were treated like royalty. Family and friends, what is most important? When you have cancer, everything changes. You realize what is important and what is not. I was not allowed to hang around my family or my friends to prevent getting sick. But when everyone was well, we made sure we made the most of it. Winter time comes. No matter how sick I got, I kept my chin up and lived life as much as possible. I am now having tests done on my heart because the chemo and radiation have damaged my heart. My tumors are shrinking. They're about half gone. I hope I don't have to do any more chemo or radiation because I don't want to have to leave this school. Again, it's what matters most to me. Thank you for listening to my story. While I got your attention, I would like to thank you for a few things. Thank you for your help in my fundraisers and your support all the way through cancer. Thank you for listening to my story.